Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And today we'll be talking about the bump that Social Security is getting, but also is going to be a raise within your taxes. We already know this. Also, we need to understand how inflation has projected that Generation Z will have to essentially save up $3 million in order to retire. I mean, what is astronomical. We know as time progresses, as evolution occurs, that things will become more expensive over time. But no one could even fathom that you would need $3 million to retire at the age of 65. We understand there's advances in medicine where people are living to 80 and 90 years old on average, but nonetheless, no one never needed that amount of money. Now, with that being said, friend, I'm just going to take a quick look at my portfolio here. The market is doing decent today. I don't think this is going to continue to occur. I think we're going to see a lot of ups and downs like we normally do, but nothing that's going to be steady for you to go ahead and dump all your money inside the stock market and think you're going to recoup that to help you retire. No, a lot of you guys, 401k, 403bs, your individual retirement accounts, whether it be traditional and or Roth, have seen almost a 50% decline. And that's why some people who are a year or 2 year away from retiring, they're more like 5 to 10 years away from retiring if those returns don't return, because the stock market is in a recession within itself. Now, of course, Joe Biden has deemed that there's no pandemic, but people are still having COVID, and they have yet to, on a government level, state that we're in a recession. Family, I've been telling you this since January. We are in a recession. Like, it's kind of like you see a fire, but you don't see the smoke and you don't smell the fire, but you see it. And I saw it a long time ago. But nonetheless, that's my portfolio. $850 I made today. That may be wiped away tomorrow. I'm already prepared for it here, not financially. Okay. So that's the one thing you need to worry about. So let's get into the story very quickly here. Let's talk about this. Here we go. Now, this is the story that came out from Robinhood. Social Security benefits are getting the biggest bump in 4 decades, but it could cost today's workers. Of course, it's going to cost us. Those who are still in our working age are paying for those who have already retired and passed away, and those who are in retirement stage. Now, we're paying for those things. And we're thinking that this bump, this increase, is whether you are in Generation X or you're millennial, you're probably thinking that this bump is going to benefit you when you retire. Now, we understand that Social Security benefits are supplemental to assist you with your bills. It won't necessarily help you pay all of your bills. That's not what it's for. It's help to assist you with your bills. So if you're not under the traditional grandfather plan, if you work 20 or 30 years, that organization, that company, that business is going to pay you for the rest of your life. The majority of you have 401k. And I hope that you guys are maxing that out, because eventually the stock market will come roaring back. Nobody knows when that occurs. Nostradamus, I got on the phone with him. He doesn't even know. Okay. Nostradamus, he predicted the future a long time ago. People say that he was anyway. So as we go over this story, family, it says, break out the boozy bingo. Retirees are getting the biggest boost to their Social Security benefits in over 40 years. Starting in January, all Social Security recipients will get a record 8.7% bump, bringing the monthly payouts to just over 1.8K. That is $1,800, family. That is $1,800. Now, I want you to think about how much you're making right now. Now, even on the low end, some of you are making $2,500 a month, $3,000 a month. Social Security is only paying out $1.8 thousand. And that is maximum. And what a lot of you don't understand is this. Social Security payout monthly amount is based upon the amount of money that you made throughout your lifetime. So everybody's not getting $1,800. Everybody's not getting $1.8 thousand. No. A lot of you, because you haven't made that much money, and it's no detriment to you, it is what it is. This the numbers as we know them. You're not going to be receiving nowhere near $1,500, $1,200. We will be happy if we receive $1,000 in Social Security benefits. That's right, family. It is based upon the money that you have contributed to your Social Security that comes automatically out of your check. Now, as we're going to see here, there's a certain percentage that they use in order to subtract that amount from your income, or your salary rather. It says every year the U.S. government adjusts Social Security benefits to keep up with the cost of living. Despite a nearly 6% increase in COLA benefits this year, the payout hasn't kept up with inflation. And they go on to say nearly 70 million Americans receive Social Security benefits. And we know America, our population is roughly around 310 million people. Okay. And it says nearly a quarter of recipients 65 plus rely on those checks for most of their income. A lot of people rely on Social Security for most of their income. Maybe they have a little money coming in for retirement. Maybe they did an annuity that's paying them out maybe $500-$600 a month, right? You guys would know what annuities are. Though annuity can help out somewhat if you have a big chunk of change and you want to continue to get paid monthly out that amount, because they're just going to use that amount in investments. But then again, when the market is down, your annuity could be down unless it's a guaranteed contract, which are very hard to get, but they are possible. It also states here that 1937, nearly every American worker and their employee has been required to pay Social Security taxes, taken from every paycheck. Regardless if you like it or not, family, you're going to pay Social Security, but there's no guarantee that you will receive Social Security. This is why finances are the most important thing in your life next to life. See, you can't have one without the other, right? You are a detriment to yourself and your family if you don't have financial stability, if you don't have employment or created a business that provides certain things for your life. And Social Security are one of those things that the government in place that everybody must pay, because they didn't want to see as people get into their elderly years to become homeless, to be dependent upon their siblings, to be dependent upon their children, to be dependent upon their family members. This is very important, family, because regardless if you like it or not, you're going to pay Social Security, but you may not benefit from it. So this is why your finances are very important. We're acting like there's not a recession going on. We're acting like inflation is at an all-time high. You need to be safeguarding your finances. That means that you had this whole swagged out dinner planned this weekend and you knew that the dinner was going to cost $250. You better go to Applebee's. Yep. You better get the 2 for $20. And I think that even went up. I think it's 2 for $22 now. So family, inflation is hitting everybody hard and it's no laughing matter, but nonetheless, family, please be on your P's and Q's when it comes to your finances, okay? Let me continue on here. It says the current tax rate for people making under $147,000 is 6%. To be determined if that eventually rises because of the bump, starting next year, the max amount of earnings subject to Social Security tax will increase to $160,000 from $147,000. And believe me, that 6%, I'm really close to thinking that's going to raise to 7.5, 8%, anywhere from 7.5 to 8%. I'm thinking that amount is going to rise, where people are going to be paying more into Social Security. Because here's the thing. I really want you to think about this. They're getting a bump in Social Security, right? And back here, they're giving an 8.7% bump. How are you going to increase Social Security if you don't increase people paying into Social Security? You can't do that. So just be aware, family, you heard it here first, that you're going to be paying more in Social Security. And then we know these two are linked, right? If you're going to pay more in Social Security, you're going to pay more in Medicaid. A lot of you may not even use Medicaid, but you may know people who use Medicaid. Nonetheless, Social Security goes up. I'm waiting for Medicaid to go up. Just be very cognizant of that. Be very aware. Keep your ears to the street. Just know that more money the government is taking out of your paycheck, but it's for the citizens, but you may not receive those benefits when you become to the retirement age. Just stating the fact here. It also states here the extra cash should be a welcome relief to inflation. Strained retirees, since Americans are burning through their savings. Last year, the cost of one of Medicare's, there it is, most popular coverage plans went up to 14.5% to $170 a month. And that's Medicaid. That's government health insurance. It rose 14.5%. Since most older adults opt to have those costs deducted from their Social Security checks, it leaves them with less money. Meanwhile, nearly $3 trillion has been wiped away from Americans' retirement accounts. Think 401ks, Roth IRAs, as stocks have tumbled this year. So, family, this is no new news to you guys. But the reason why this information, the reason why this news is so important, because I don't believe a lot of you have gotten to a point where it's become very real. See, it becomes real on the backside when you lose your job or you get furloughed, you get fired, you get laid off, and you don't have any money in your savings. You don't have any equity. You don't have any revenue coming in. You don't have any assets. That is when finances become real to people. When you have to call your buddy, you have to call your girlfriend, you have to go live with your mama, live with your children. That's when finances become real to people. And before that occurs, you need to start putting the cash away right now. And unfortunately, the best news that's going to help you suffice that missing income from Social Security, if you so receive that when you retire, is to invest. But don't forget about your emergency fund. Now, for quite some time, everyone were stating that you need 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund saved up. Family, I'm gonna go right to a year. I know you may think it's impossible to obtain. No, it's not. Save for an entire year of all your expenses, because first and foremost, we don't know what the future holds. 2, you want to be ready for everything. And 3, it's for emergencies. Okay. It's for emergencies. And when I look at this, family, I'm looking at the Social Security. They are projecting that Social Security Trust Fund will run out in 2034. How old would you be in 2034? We are in 2022 right now. So we're talking about 12 years later. All of us are still going to be around. So help us God. Most of us are still going to be around, and they're projecting that Social Security, even though they're increasing Social Security, even though you're going to be paying more into Social Security, they're already projecting, regardless of what they do, it's going to be out by 2034. Now, I don't want to be the one to find out the hard way. I just kind of want to save some money now, invest some money now, just to make sure in case Social Security is not there when I retire and I'm actually depending on it. Because family, the numbers don't lie. That's the great thing about math. That's the great thing about investing. At the end of the day, numbers don't lie. It says leaving enough money to cover only 77% of scheduled benefits. That means 28% of Americans will not receive their Social Security benefits, even though they paid into it. That's what that's stating. Now, this is a big story that came out. I know a lot of people have been harping on this. A lot of people have been doing stories on this. It says, thanks to inflation, Generation Z and millennials will now need $3 million in retirement savings to live comfortably. You know what generation they left out? Good old Generation X. We're still around. We're in our 30s and our 40s. We're still around. If the millennials, who are the generation after us, our kids, and Generation Z, our kids once again, and also the millennials' kids, if they have to save up $3 million to retire, how much you think Generation X will have to save up? That amount increased. It used to be like $1.1 million, family. No. We're looking at $2 million, roughly. We're looking at $2 million to save up in your bank account in order to retire. See, the whole term, I'm going to be a millionaire. You're only a millionaire so you can live off the millions that you made. That's it. So I may cover this story a little more in depth with the $3 million in order to retire for millennials as well as Generation Z. But nonetheless, family, there you have it. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. Let's see what you guys are saying. I see I got Jermaine Anderson in the room. Thank you, brother, for showing up. We got Jay the Informant. Everyone check out Big Five Sporting. Maybe a good stock. I don't know. The Biden administration moved the goalpost on what a recession is. Of course they did. See, nobody wants to claim a recession during the primaries, but hey, there ain't nothing on the table for us, then it don't even matter. Jay the Informant also states that some people receive Social Security and a picture from their company. This one woman I know that's retired, she receives 2 pensions and Social Security. See, I'm not going to hate on people who are receiving multiple income in retirement, because if you paid into Social Security should be there for you, regardless how much money you make. I know some of you are going to disagree. If you are a billionaire and you paid into Social Security, well, God damn it, you should get your Social Security money back. Because if anybody with an entrepreneur investment mindset, just like your 401k, I want you to think about it like your 401k. Let's take, for instance, you hit the lottery. And you have $1 billion in your bank account, but you put money while you was working that 9-to-5 job in your 401k, and they told you now, because you are a billionaire, there's no need for you to take money out of your 401k. Your 401k is now going to go to the most needy, and they're going to go back to the government. You're like, no. If I'm going to give my money to the needy, I'm going to give it to them. That is your money, family. So I get what you're saying, but yeah, give people their money back that they put into Social Security. No one is just investing, and it's not really a choice we make. The government takes it anyway. But you get the point I'm making. Let's see here, please. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jermaine Anderson. 1, health. 2, finances. 3, community. 4, personal motivation. Indeed. On the end, they're bragging about a bump in Social Security benefits. On the other end, they're saying that inflation is going to eat up your extra money from the benefits increase. Exactly. It's like inflation's up. Oh, we're going to bump up your Social Security. And they already stated, family, that they had to bump up Social Security because the cost of living with inflation has risen. So if you was hurting when inflation was down and then inflation rose and then they rose, you get what I'm getting at. It's still going to equal out. You're going to be in the same predicament and situation you was before, okay? All right. So there you have it, family. I got some more notes coming in. He says, yes. Jay the Informant also states, I'm also planning on opening a business in the team to expand, so I don't plan on retiring. Okay. Well, there you have it, family. Just want to kind of give you this quick news. I might go more in depth with the Gen Z and the millennials having to save $3 million in order to get somewhere in life, in order to retire. But you guys have a great and wonderful day. I'm out.